all EPC kids. It's lovely to be able to talk to you this morning. I just want to give you a quick announcement about a competition we're running for the next few weeks till the end of March. Every week on EPC Kids, there is a memory verse. And my challenge to you is, can you learn 3 or more of these memory verses by the end of March? If you can, that's really great. There are 9 altogether, including the one 2 weeks ago. So if you're young, you probably can only learn the 3, but maybe you're a bit older and you could learn maybe 4, maybe 5, maybe 6, maybe 7, or maybe even all 9. There's a real challenge for you. In the coming weeks, we'll let you know how we're going to listen to your memory verses. But in the meantime, you start learning them. And if you can remember, if you can say 3 or more by the end of March, there will be a prize. So hopefully we'll be speaking to you again soon. And hopefully you'll take up the challenge and start learning the memory verses. Thank you.
Morning, boys and girls. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Lindsay. I'm Ben and Cara's mummy, and I'm also one of the GB officers. Now, I know last week you did all about the new king. You did about Saul and about how important a man he was. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to learn a wee bit more about Saul. But before we do that, I have a game. I want to play Simon Says. So, for those of you who don't remember how Simon Says goes, if I say Simon Says, you have to do it. And if I don't say Simon Says, well, then you don't do it. All right? So, everybody up on your feet, and let's have a wee go with Simon Says. Right? So, Simon says, jump up and down. Keep going, keep jumping up and down. Go, go, go. Simon says, stop. Simon says, pat your head. Simon says, do a spin round. Spin, 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 spin. Arms out, arms out. Yes, I see you. Good, brilliant. Simon says, stop. Simon says, clap your hands. Tap your head. Ah, Simon didn't say. No tapping your head unless Simon says. Simon says, tap your head now. Brilliant. Good. Keep going. Tap your head, tap your head. Simon says, wiggle your ears. Simon says, do a big, big stretch because it's Sunday morning. Simon says, touch your toes. Do star jumps. No, Simon didn't say it. Only do it if Simon says it. Right, this last go. Simon says, jump up and down. Simon says, do a twirl round. Keep twirling arms out. Wiggle your ears. No, Simon didn't say it. Simon says, tap your head. Simon says, cross your arms. Simon says, everybody listen to the story.
So last week, boys and girls, you learnt about King Saul and that he was chosen by God and anointed by Samuel. At the start, he probably was a good king, but today we're going to learn about how he didn't necessarily stay that way. Now, there's Samuel, and Samuel was the man who last week God had spoken to and said that he was to anoint Saul to be king. So Samuel came to Saul and told Saul he had to go and he had to destroy and defeat this army of Amalekites. Now, Amalekites had previously been really, really bad to the Israelites whenever they were leaving Egypt with Moses. So God had told Samuel to tell Saul that the Amalekites were to be completely destroyed. They weren't to leave anyone alive. All the animals and all the people were to be killed. So Saul led the army and on they went to defeat the Amalekites. They knew God was on their side, so they had prayed that they would win. So Saul encouraged his troops and off they went. They went into battle and they fought really bravely. And actually, the Israelite army and Saul won the battle. But they didn't do what God had said. Now, if you remember, God had told them that they were to defeat and destroy all the Amalekites, all the people and all the animals. But look what Saul does. Saul saves the king. He spares the king. He doesn't kill the king and he doesn't kill all the animals. Now, Saul might have thought that he was doing the right thing. He might have thought he was going to keep the animals for their own sacrifices, and he wanted to show the people how strong he was that he had defeated the king. But remember, that was not what God had told him to do. God had told him that he had to destroy and kill all the Amalekites. Now, God then spoke to Samuel and told Samuel what Saul had done and how Saul had disobeyed his instructions. So now what happens? Samuel then goes to speak to Saul and tells Saul, you did not do what you were told to do. You were told to destroy them all, and you haven't. You've spared and saved the king and saved some of the animals. Saul then tried to blame the people and said that it wasn't his fault, but it really was. It was his decision. At that point, God knew that Saul's heart wasn't right and that he had made the mistake. And then Samuel then sadly tells him that he can't be king for much longer. His throne would be taken from him and given to someone else because he didn't do exactly as he was told.
Well, I hope you all listened to that story and hope you all learned something from it. Saul was a good guy at the start. He did what was right and he was chosen by God. God doesn't make any mistakes, so God couldn't have chosen him if he was wrong. But he didn't follow through. Just like us in our game of Simon Says, you have to do exactly what God says. Saul didn't do that. Saul didn't do exactly what he was told to do by God. The same goes for us. We have to do exactly what God tells us to do. We have to do it in the same way that we're told at the time we're told. Otherwise, it's not right. The verse we're going to look at today talks about a king, and this king was a king when he was only 8 years old. Do you know what it says about him? It says he didn't turn to the left or the right. He did exactly as he was told. Not like Saul. And I hope each of you and me and all the mummies and daddies, I hope we all do exactly as we are told by God. Have a good week, guys.
Hi, boys and girls. Today's memory verse is found in the Old Testament. That is in the first part of the Bible. It's from a book called 2 Kings, and it's chapter 22 and verse 2. God has told us to hide his word in our hearts. One way of doing this is to learn or memorise the verse so that we can remember it even when we don't have the words in front of us. So, let's give it a go. He did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, not turning aside to the right or to the left. 2 Kings chapter 22, verse 2. Right, now we're going to give it a different twist. We're going to take some words out, and as you can see, we've put some pictures in to help us remember those words. So I want you to read as best you can and to look at the pictures and try to remember the words we've taken out. Right, let's go. He did what was in the eyes of the Lord, not turning aside to the or to the. 2 Kings chapter 22 verse 2. Now, we've put the words back in, we've taken some more words out, and we've put more pictures in. So we're going to try the verse this time. Let's go. He did what was right in the of the Lord, not aside to the right or to the left. 2 Kings chapter 22 verse 2. Brilliant. Now we're taking the words out and we've taken the pictures out and we're going to see how well you've remembered it. Let's go. He did what was in the of the Lord, not aside to the or to the. 2 Kings chapter 22 verse 2. Well done. Now we've put all the words back in again and you're going to read it with me and we're going to say it really loud and we're going to try and remember it. Let's go. He did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, not turning aside to the right or to the left. 2 Kings chapter 22, verse 2. Well done, boys and girls, and let's hide God's word in our heart by remembering our memory verses.
Hi everyone. Today we're going to be thinking about another fruit of the Spirit, and that's joy. And I'm just wondering, what does joy mean to you? Maybe like me, you have a friend called Joy. Or maybe you think of the character Joy from the movie Inside Out. Or perhaps you just think about times when you have been happy. I decided to look the word up in the dictionary, and this is what it says. It says that joy is happiness or great delight. But Christian joy, the joy that Paul talks about in his letters, is so much more than that. It means that even when we are sad, we can be joyful. I know that sounds a bit strange, but it means that even if it's a wet day and we can't get outside, we can still be joyful. It means that even if someone that we love is unwell, we can be joyful. This is because joy is not something that happens to us, it's about how we respond to what life throws at us. The Bible tells us that the joy of the Lord is our strength. The joy that God brings is so much more than happiness. Each day we can choose to find the joy around us, and we can also help to spread the joy of the Lord. So that's the challenge this week. I'm setting you a challenge chart to complete. Ask someone to print the chart off and stick it to your fridge. How many challenges can you complete? Take a photograph of you completing them and send them through to us. Have fun and choose joy.
The resurrection.